happy Wednesday. I'm so excited because today I'm joined by Miss Pinky and also Monica. And honestly, we're going to be talking about some things that people avoid talking about, right? But it's definitely super important. Life insurance, trust, protecting your family, and making sure your loved ones are taken cared for. So, um, for Miss Pinky, Monica, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Pinky, go ahead and go first since you're new to the
to,
live today.
to the live. I'm a newbie. Hello, everybody. My name is Sophia Pinky Estrada. My friends call me Pinky. If we're friends, you can call
But
me
it really
Pinky.
is her name.
And it really is my legal name. Yes. I am a wealth educator, financial strategist. My agency does life insurance and wealth management. So we're considered a full service brokerage firm. So we do everything and anything that has any kind of financial concepts we can help with. So we do an array of things. And that is me.
I love it. One more thing to add to your introduction. What made you so passionate about your field or this field?
Oof. So this field actually just kind of fell into my lap. I was pregnant with my son. I was just looking for something to do while I was pregnant, and I wanted to bring in some extra money. I also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because I didn't want to take my son to daycare. I did not want to go back to corporate, do the whole 9 to 5 thing. I really wanted to dedicate myself being a mommy. And this kind of fell into my lap. And I realized that it was so much more than just becoming a life insurance agent. I learned world-class financial education. But as I was getting licensed with the state, I got a phone call from my dad. And he was 64 years old at the time, so 1 year away from retirement. And he calls me. He's like, Mija, he's like, I have bad news, but I just got laid off from my job after being there for 20 years. Blood, sweat, and tears. They laid him off. No thank you, no severance package, no 401k, no pension plan, nothing. Just the rug was just pulled right from under him. And that was a really hard pill for us to swallow as a family. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this happened to my dad that was one of the best employees, and realized, wow, how easy and how quick people or companies are to replace us. But also, I realized my dad had nothing set for retirement, and he didn't know any of the concepts that I teach and our agency teaches. And if somebody would have showed him the information, it would have changed the trajectory of his retirement. So, this is why I'm really passionate, because our motto is no family left behind. And it really truly is that, because my family did get left behind, and that's where I knew that moment that I was going to teach this for the rest of my life, whether I got paid for it or not. But it's awesome that I get paid for it. So that's where my passion comes from.
I love it. So it doesn't feel like work
And yep.
It's
because
more
you're
the
helping.
educate. It's more the education behind anything because, like we say, we don't know what we don't know, and I always
Mhm.
stress that on our lives. Like we were never taught this, and people don't. They think life insurance, and they think, oh, when I die. No, like there's so much more to it. And it's crazy because even in this business, like you learn something new like every day. Like, oh, okay. Like, so it's like even us that we're in the field, there's still room to grow. There's still knowledge to know. And so
Mhm.
imagine like any person just walking along the street, they're not going to know like more than your typical human. And it's just like the fact that so many people are uneducated that it's like, wow, so it's very much true. Like we don't know what we don't know, and so that education to families, individuals, it's like it like even makes your heart smile because they're like, oh, like I didn't know that, so it's just you see that little light turn on and it's like, oh, I could be doing so much more, so I think that's a big takeaway also, is just the education part of it,
Yep.
you know so
Yep.
Okay. It,
Okay.
yeah, definitely 100%, And then for you, Monica, a brief introduction. What made you passionate about this field?
Um, Probably just again becoming a parent and putting myself in that position that like I never thought like before it was just Chris and I. So it was just like, okay, if something happens to either one of us, like cool, like no, like it's just us. And then we got waves and it's like what happens if something happens to us? What happens to her? So that kind of got my wheels turning of like, what am I doing? Like, I'm an adult, but I'm not adulting. So that was my trigger and my inspiration of just, I need to be prepared for her more than anything because we became parents a lot older in age. And so like we're not going to be around as long as like your normal, parents. And again, nobody knows, but that really scared me. And it's like, how do I prepare and make sure she's taken care of if we're not here? So that was my motivation and my trigger of to get started. And again, because we weren't taught this growing up, like my parents, like luckily my parents through their church and whatnot learned about through the Knights of Columbus of life insurance. But again,
Mm,
it's only term. It's nothing like where they could have, like my parents could have made, my mom's very, very savvy with money. And, like they could have like moved mountains because like it's just the power of not knowing, and life insurance isn't what it was, 20, 30 years ago to what it is now. So I'm sure like if my parents would have known that information, like, you know,
mm.
the possibilities are endless. But so, now fortunately, like I get to fill in those spots of like, oh, I didn't know that, So it's again the education of helping out our community and helping them with that.
I love it. So, okay, for any one of you can answer definitely. What are some like real life situations where families wish they had plans way sooner?
Oof.
Well, you just mentioned one in our meeting the other night with your friend.
Yeah. There's story after story that's really heartbreaking, because we think that we're young. We don't understand life insurance. We don't understand what it does. People think, oh, it's just for when you pass away. It's not. It's for while you're alive. I always tell people, I'm like, you pay car insurance every single month, hoping you never have to use
Use
it.
it.
Because
Mhm.
who wants to get into a car accident or something happen? You pay for cell phone insurance, hoping why? Because you want to protect your $1,000 cell phone in case it breaks.
Pinky.
But what if you break?
Yeah.
Who's going to fix you and who's going to replace you? And I feel that we don't value ourselves as our biggest asset. If you're the main breadwinner, if you bring in any kind of income, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, people think, oh, they don't make income. Is your income protected? And life insurance is the quickest way that you can replace your income. And if something happens to you, I have many cases, unfortunately, where, one time one of my cousins, he got hit at walking across the street by a motorcycle and he couldn't walk for 6 to 8 months. And he didn't have any living benefits in place. I have right now a friend that, they found cancer, and now it's like the situation where she doesn't have any living benefits. And now she has to come out of pocket. And now she has to figure out what her healing journey is going to be. We do have one of our business partners that got living benefits when he was 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's now 38 years old. Last May, he got diagnosed with cancer, with lymphoma cancer. And Luckily, they had a policy set in place. They had all the living benefits. They put in the claim. They cashed them out $600,000 directly into their bank account. They did not want to go do the chemotherapy or radiation. They're like, now we have options. Now we have the money to choose what we want to do and choose our healing. So they picked up their entire family. They went to Mexico. They got stem cell treatment out there. They didn't have to worry about the mortgage payments, the private schools of their daughters, and bills, groceries, any of that. All they needed to do is just focus on their healing because he had this living benefits. So he paid about $3,000 into this policy and got paid out $600,000. And they didn't have to spend all $600,000. Of course, they're now using that money for whatever they need, whether it's reinvesting it, buying more life insurance, down payment for a house for their daughters, but their focus was on healing, and now they had options. And that's really what you want, is you want to have options. And it's just the quickest, most inexpensive way to replace your entire income.
For
I love
sure.
that. I love that you gave both examples of, when you need it and when someone does have a policy, how does that look like? So thank you. Because I feel like that's the fear of people, right? Like, what if I invest in this and it's not real, Well, like, is there proven stats
What
that
if
it
you,
can,
yeah. Like
yeah.
what if something happens to you and then you're completely screwed? Then
So
what?
what do
Like,
they people think typically? Like, okay, I'm never gonna see this. I'm just paying money out of it. It's a waste of time, right? Or is it scam?
For some
So
reason, for some reason, people think it's a lot of people, especially in the, minority communities, at least for us in the Latino community, they're very skeptical. When I started this journey, I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, how come you don't have life insurance? He's like, because when I die, somebody gets paid and gets my money. I want that money and I want to spend my money. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But he also was not thinking about, also possibly, even if he did pass away, I mean, we're all going to pass away, but when he passes away, he didn't think, oh, I can transfer some wealth to my loved ones. And that's something else that we don't think about. So now that I educated my dad on it, he's like, I want more life insurance, because when I pass away, I want you to be, at least to be able to pay off the house, at least to be able to transfer this to my grandbaby. And people don't realize that a lot of the wealthiest people use these strategies. It's not the end all, but
yeah.
it's the main foundation of wealth strategies. It's called the Rockefeller. My gosh, I'm
Wealth
blanking out.
strategies.
Yeah, but it's called the not the waterfall method. I'm blanking out. Don't mark my words. But it's the waterfall method, where if you see people like wealthy families like the Rockefellers, anytime somebody passes away, they
leverage.
get wealthier. But in our communities, anytime somebody passes away, we go into deeper debt. We're starting GoFundMe pages. It's like, what do they know that we don't know?
You're
And
making
what they do,
tamales.
yeah, and yeah, you got to sell the pies and tamales and tacos and car washes. And we're over here trying to raise money. We're trying to raise money with GoFundMe. GoFundMe, unfortunately, is the number one fundraiser for funeral expenses. That is sad.
It's
GoFundMe takes a piece of that pie.
mhm.
And let's say somebody, if I get diagnosed with cancer and somebody's like, you know what, we're going to start a GoFundMe for Pinky. And everybody donates $50,000. I get $50,000. Let's say that I make $100,000. But at the end of the year, it's gonna look like I made $150,000, and now I'm in a whole different tax bracket. That's what people don't understand. It is so that waterfall method is in the Rockefeller families and all these wealthy families. When somebody passes away, they get paid out that life insurance policy. tax-free death benefit, they put it back into the trust. They fund the trust. When somebody is born in that family, the first thing that do is take out is a life insurance policy, because a lot of these policies do have cash accumulation, and then that's a whole other conversation. But this is, people are skeptical of it. They think it's a scam. But again, the wealthiest people do this. And guess what? Companies like Walmart and Wells Fargo have billions and billions of life insurance policies. And there's a reason why.
Yeah.
So, anyone watching now or later, and if you feel like there's a tug in your heart, comment below. Monica and Sophia Pinky is on Instagram, Facebook. So definitely leave your questions below, or you can go ahead and directly message them as well. So I know people are going to be watching this later. Definitely reach out. There's a ton of education. I know we have limited time, but if you have any questions, you can always put your questions in the comments below. So another question, what's the difference between just having life insurance and versus having a trust like in place as well?
Life insurance. So having life insurance is great. Even if you don't, highly recommend everybody have a trust. And somebody will say, well, I don't really own anything. Like, I don't own a house. I don't know. Trust me, no pun intended, get a trust. And I'll explain why. But life insurance policies, what I really like, there's one benefit of having a life insurance policy when somebody passes away and they don't have a trust in place. A life insurance policy will avoid probate. So that's one reason to have it. Now, having a trust and also having a will in a trust is completely different. A will is okay, but you still have to have a trust. A trust is really just you leaving instructions to your loved ones, to your family, when you pass away, or you're incapacitated. Well, I can't speak today.
Incapacitated.
We just got done funding my mom's trust. And in my mom's trust, there's instructions while she's alive. She can change it up anytime that she wants, where her healthcare power of attorney is there. If she ends up in a hospital and we don't have a healthcare power of attorney, and the doctor says, I'm going to do this to your mom, and I say, no, it's not what she wants, they're like, sorry, she can't answer right now. But guess what? I show them the piece of paper. I have the healthcare power of attorney for her. So now I can make decisions on her behalf. I have her financial power of attorney. Now I can go to the bank and say, hey, I need to cash out this money. I need to pay her bills. I have access to the bank. As well as a lot of people say, I want to leave my house to my kids and I want to put the house under my kids' names. Oh my gosh, do not do that. I thought, yes, that's the smartest thing to do until I learned what happens when you pass away. Don't put your house under your kids' names. Put the house under the trust name. So the trust owns the house, and you can leave instructions. You can, for example, if I pass away too soon, my son's getting paid $1 million. Do you think I want to leave if he was 18 years old, my 18-year-old son, $1 million? No, I have instructions. As long as you're not an alcoholic, as long as you don't do drugs, you can take out a percentage every single year. You can take out $30,000, go get a job and make up for it. If you're going to open up a business, then you have to give us a business plan and you can take out $50,000. So it's really just leaving instructions and also avoiding the biggest headache, which is probate. A lot of people don't understand, if you have a 401k, if you have a house, if you have checkings account, savings account, as soon as you pass away, everything is frozen. And now people have to go through years through probate. By the time they pay attorney fees, some people are like, you know what? The kids are like, I can't afford it. Let the house go. The government keeps it. The courts keep it. So that's the difference.
I love that you cover everything. Like with one, how does it look like with and without? It's a headache, like you said. It's gonna take way longer, and you guys are gonna just feel the stress, right?
Yeah.
Compared to just having it all taken cared for in a trust. So I love that. I love that. I know there's more to it. I know a lot of people have questions with around it, because I look at properties all the time, and I look at the assessor and list of owners, and a lot of them are not in a trust. So,
Mm.
very few. If I look at a farm, they're all
Wow.
just under names. They're not under trust. And I'm like, why?
For
So,
sure.
yeah, so a lot of opportunity, and I feel like it's definitely just education, knowing what's important and prioritizing, because tomorrow's never promised. So, it's good that I love that what we're doing, we're educating, we're kind of just planning education to people out there, like, hey, this is important, because I hear stories all the time, right? One moment they're here, the next day they're not, just because of accidents, life, and everything else, that we deal with. So we just never know. But it's good to just be protected now, sooner than later. I say yesterday.
Right? No,
Yes.
but I'm saying I think we should somehow like be able to do maybe like a, I guess, webinar, like where we could do, like basically a class on this of like, again, what we don't know, what we don't know. But yeah, if anyone is interested in us doing a webinar and getting more information, definitely let us know. That way we can arrange a date, time that we can all hop on to, collaborate and to do a class for you guys, because so much information. I mean, Pinky just touched on here and there, but each topic has like a rabbit hole. This has a rabbit hole. And it's like, you said it perfectly the other day. Like, Starbucks is known for what? Their coffee. But do they only sell coffee? No. They sell juice, they sell tea, they sell sandwiches, they sell boiled eggs. Like,
Yeah.
life insurance isn't just a one-stop shop. Like, there's so much more to it. And since we're brokerage, we have access to so many things like debt management, your living wills and trusts, just, anything in the financial aspect, like we can help and assist with that. So it's not just life insurance. Like, we have opportunities and windows to so many other products that it's, that's what we're here for. And again, people don't know this because you don't know what you don't know. So definitely something that we, would really like to reach out to our community and educate them on that.
Yeah. Yep. And they say it takes about 7 times of repeated topics for people to even ingrain in their minds.
Yeah.
So thank you again. And if we've said this before, it's okay. We never know who's watching, right? So, really quick, before our time is up, I want to do a rapid fire question and answer. So, you guys just answer first thing that pops in your mind, just a couple of questions, and then we'll close it out. So, coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
I already, I already drank my energy drink, but I can do both. Okay. Biggest myth about life insurance.
It's a fraud.
It's a scam. It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Te van a
Okay.
robar.
All right. One thing every adult should have.
Life insurance. A living
Living
will and trust.
benefits.
For
Okay.
sure.
One word that describes peace of mind.
Trust. For me.
Oh. Yeah. With wealth strategies, life insurance. It goes back to life insurance, living benefits.
And then best advice for young families.
Start now. Don't wait
Start-
until. Don't be the dummy that I was. Like, I'm like, oh, we're young, we're married, and I'm like, didn't even cross my mind until we became old parents, and then I'm like, fuck.
I
Yes.
love it. Well, honestly, definitely such valuable conversation, because these are topics people don't want to hear, right? People that don't want to talk about it's stressful, life is busy. So sometimes it's this is the moment where people need to just sit down, step back, and really think about what's important, because we just never know what's going to happen, and it's good to have protections in place, and it's all about perspective. I feel like People think about themselves, but what about the people that you love, right?
Yeah.
So the moment you change perspective, mindset, like, oh my gosh, yeah, my kids, my family will still have to live. What am I going to leave them behind? So are you
Yeah.
going to leave them a burden, or are you going to make things easier, better for them so that they can manage the things that you left behind for them? you
Yeah.
know
No, it's true because
so all the
like
debt.
no, it is true. Like you think in your mind in a perfect world, like, okay, my spouse passes away and bereavement, we get 3 days. And then, if we want longer than that, we have to do FMLA for 12 weeks. But in a perfect world, who's going to go back to work in 3 days thinking like everything's going to go back to normal? Like, it's it's a lot to wrap your brain around. And it's like, let's be real. Like, is this really going to happen? Like, is life going to continue and just go back to pieces when like half of your world is gone? Like in a perfect world, yes, but reality, no. Like, if you didn't have that comfort of protection, like you could grieve the way you need to grieve and you can take care of things that need to be taken care of because you're not going to be able to do it in 3 days of bereavement.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I mean,
wild.
to me, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But anyways,
Oh yeah,
that was my two
that's
cents.
rough. When people need to heal. So, but other than that, thank you both for hopping on and sharing your knowledge and your heart. I know this type of line of work definitely comes with passion and experiences, and that's motive, because anything we do is not easy, right? So I know, like, with what you both do comes with a lot of heart and a lot of no giving up as well, because all
Yeah.
we want to do is help, right? So thank you again. I hope you
Thank
guys can hop
you.
on more and more, because I love educating. I love giving back. And yeah, I appreciate you both. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Or if you feel like there's someone that needs this, tag them in the comments. Share this video. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Yay. Thank you, Alfyn, for
Yay!
having
Thank
us.
you.
No